I'm Dr. Jay Peacock, Professor of History at Nash Community College, and this is History 132, American History 2. The period of American history from the end of the Civil War until the turn of the 20th century is often referred to as the Gilded Age. This label is taken from a novel by Mark Twain and Charles Dudley Warner. It suggests that while on the surface all was golden in the United States in the late 19th century, it was not pure gold. Beneath the surface, the nation faced a number of problems and challenges. Certainly the Gilded Age was a period of great transformation and change when America as we know it today began to emerge. It was an era of incredible growth in industry and in urbanization, and huge numbers of immigrants arrived in the United States, especially from Southern and Eastern Europe, forever changing the ethnic and cultural makeup of the country. It was an age of rampant political corruption and real disparities of wealth, but it was also an age of progress. The North's victory in the Civil War ensured the triumph of industrial-based capitalism. The main beneficiaries of this were the great capitalists themselves, the Vanderbilts, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, the Morgans, who became some of the richest men in history. But as historian Bill Brands argues, the capitalist revolution was in many ways the best thing ever to befall the ordinary people of America. Not only were jobs created, but new technologies significantly improved the overall quality of life in America. The Gilded Age saw the introduction of electric lights, telephones, phonographs, air conditioners, cars, and eventually airplanes. Housing continued to improve, as did American diets. Education became more widely available during the final decades of the 19th century. Post-secondary education blossomed to almost 1,000 colleges and universities. Yet in the end, prosperity was precarious and inequality was more obvious than ever. The capitalists controlled all branches of the federal government and most state governments, which meant that government was generally hostile to workers' rights and any attempts to regulate business in the public interest. Farmers and other rural Americans increasingly felt left out or left behind. In the Depression decade of the 1890s, a new political party, the Populists, arose to demand change. The Populists were a rural-based party that drew little support in urban areas and faded away quickly. But in the early 20th century, many of the populist ideas were taken up by an urban-based reform movement known as progressivism. Although capitalism remained triumphant, some of its excesses were reined in by a more active government.